Brand today, and you are on the She Africa web series. So we would like to share some tips with you on how to hang out with She Africa on air. Welcome, Nadia.
Hi, Petro. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. Well, I know you from before, but nice to be on She Africa.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on board and sharing your secrets with the She Africa women and how to, get themselves ready to hang out with She Africa to present themselves in the best possible way they could. So first to start off with, I'd like you just to take out some time and just introduce yourself.
Okay, so like she said, I'm Nadia Brand. I'm South African born. I was born in Johannesburg and spent most of my life actually living in Cape Town. But then at a young age, I went studying acting at City Varsity in Cape Town, where I met my now ex-husband, but met a director, got married, moved to the UK, where we started up our own film production company. And the film production company produced 5 feature films and about 65 music videos. And I've had the luxury of being flown to Slovenia, Romania, Norway, Spain, Belgium, Italy for filming. So it's been very exciting, and I've worked with a few really cool people. So it's a great job, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That sounds exciting. It sounds like the dream job to have.
It is a dream job because it's two-sided. I was in the production side as well as the acting side, so slightly different things. Production is highly organizational, so you need to know what you're doing, and you need to work with really big budgets, and you need to organize who's going to be where, when, and trains and flights and all that stuff. Where acting, I think, is sharing a bit of yourself on screen because you've got to tap into your own real emotion. So it's slightly different. One's head, one's heart.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's quite a skill to have. And I remember as a young girl, I've always wanted to be an actress, but life had a different path for me. So so it's exciting to be speaking to you, and I mean, you are extremely skilled, I hear, in your industry and in what you do, and most of your clients get the jobs.
Yes, I started up when I returned from the UK in 2000. I came to South Africa to settle. And then I saw there's quite a big gap in the market for realistic acting. I think especially the acting schools and the drama schools focus a lot on they promote TV and film, but they're actually more stage-based in their training. So I realized there's a market that you can actually really get to the people who want to do films, who want to do commercials, and who want to make money that way. And I started up my acting classes in 2009, and I'm still running them in Cape Town. So the classes are designed for people who want to learn how to be an actress, but specifically designed for screen, because screen acting and stage acting is very different. And I think South Africa is a little bit behind in how we portray ourselves, especially actors portray themselves in feature films, where it's a little bit still stylized, a bit dramatic, and they still need to get the nuances of being a little bit more natural. So that's kind of where I fit in. So the people who come to class specifically want to learn how to act for screen. So yes, at one point I had 4 of my students, because I don't normally take more than 6 students, but 4 of the students all went independently to audition for the short film that this director was doing, and they all actually got into it at the same time, and then realized that they were all in the same film, which was quite hilarious because they all knew each other. But it was nice for them to connect. And also I did a short film production that I produced myself 2 years ago that got selected for the Silver Scarum Fierce, which is a CakeNet production where they invite people who are wanting to make short films or feature films to approach them. Then they select from a series of films. My short film that I produced with my actors got selected, and we had a premiere at the V&A Waterfront at the Ster-Kinniekor there, so it was really nice for the students to see themselves, big screen, and have people pay to come and see them. So that was very exciting.
Yeah. Wow, so that's quite a mouthful. I love the fact that you're busy with this. I think, yes, South Africa is booming at the moment with the film industry, and if you look at the past 10 years, how it's changed and how new tools have come on board and new ways of acting have been implemented to just boost South Africa and just to boost the film industry, So wow, and great for you for being a part of that. And to anybody that's watching, Nadia is going to be looking for sponsorship for future films. So if you happen to stumble onto this video kindly get in contact with the She Africa head office or with Nadia Brandt on www.nadiabrandt.com. Is that right?
Yes, that is.
Yes, if you have some money lying around and you'd like to spend that on some young, talented people looking to create some amazing short films, yeah?
Yes, and feature films. My plan is to, I'm connected to quite a wide variety of very, very good actors at the moment. And I think there's a population that, South Africans want to see South African films. It's wonderful watching all these American films, but we actually want to see our own films in our own language. So there's Afrikaans and English, mixing the two, and maybe putting in some more different kind of languages as well. Yeah. But I think that sometimes we still fed movies that little bit, in my opinion, still a little bit stagey in the acting, and the storylines are a little bit unbelievable. But I think there's really a wonderful place where you can showcase, especially now for people having this desire to go and watch their own films and watching South African productions, to start making more of it and to make really beautiful films that look good, that look like you can start, send them to Cannes and everyone's going to watch them there, or it becomes a really big hit in America. Just film it in such a way that it doesn't look like TV or look like you filmed it on your home camera, but making it look beautiful and big. And it actually doesn't take a lot. It takes a really good DOP and cinematographer to do that. Definitely with directing, you can direct people to be a lot more natural in our way, and also to use local talent, maybe local artists, like music by Arno, or you could use music by Prime Circle, people that are up and coming, and use and support the South African industry and train people in the process of how to produce it or how to make films.
Yes. Lovely. Wow. Yeah, I'm very excited for you. I wish you all the best for that. Yeah. And I hope that we can be a part of that.
I hope you can star in my film.
Yes, I hope so too.
Maybe we can fulfill your dream of acting.
Yes, we can do that. That's definitely a story and how I got here. Yeah. So, Nadia, so you're going to be sharing some tips with us. You're going to give us a crash course, some 5 tips about how to prepare yourself for having an interview with She Africa. What is your secret best tip number 1?
Okay, so tip number 1 would be yourself. I think that's very important, because part of who you are comes across on screen. And if you are doing stuff that's not natural to you, you put yourself in an environment that's not natural to you, you'll come across maybe a little bit more stilted or nervous. So be yourself is definitely tip number 1. If you are the kind of person who is very flamboyant, then make your scenery flamboyant or sit in a flamboyant place. Or if you're more natural, just have yourself in a natural space where you feel comfortable. You have to feel comfortable when you're being interviewed. So your nature comes across. Shall I go on to the next tip, or do you want to ask me the tips?
I'm going to ask you. So, Nadia, what is your second tip for She Africa?
So the second tip I'd probably say is your location. So today, for instance, I chose my lounge. So now I'm feeling comfortable. I'm sitting on my sofa. I'm having a lovely coffee to make me feel a little bit more at home. To invite you into my space, so you get a sense of where I live, what I'm like, and a little bit of who I am. So choose a location that supports where you are. And with the location, choose nice lighting so you're visible, or that makes you feel comfortable. So you can either choose natural lighting or artificial lighting. If you're using artificial lighting, set up a few lights. Maybe if you don't have proper lights, give yourself a bedside lamp, or just switch on the room light. But find something that where you feel comfortable, you're not too hot, and it's part of your environment. So the location's important. And part of all of that setup is make sure you have a good internet connection. Make sure that your computer is charged, that your internet's working, your camera's working, your sound is working, you've got your earphones, and everything is ready so you can start the conversation.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I think that's very important because, we're going to be interviewing quite a lot of people and doing various things in various industries, and I think you have to portray what it is that you do in the nicest way you can do it.
Yes, and I think not a lot of people feel comfortable in front of the camera, so people tend to be very nervous, and that's natural and that's normal. So if you feel nervous before your interview, know that it's okay. It's supposed to be like that. Right. But the more you get into it and the more you do it, the more relaxed you'll become. So choosing somewhere that you feel comfortable in is important. If you sit in a room that makes you feel really uncomfortable, you're scared that the phone's going to come off, so turn off your cell phone, make sure everything is quiet, there's nothing running, no washing machines in the background to distract the sound. Just make sure you're in a nice, calm, relaxed environment to bring the best out of you.
Oh, fantastic. So, your tip number 3, Nadia.
Okay, so tip number 3 is look good. But that doesn't necessarily mean, for us, it means putting on makeup, maybe doing your hair. But again, still stick to tip number 1, be yourself. So if you're someone that naturally wears a lot of makeup, then put it on and splash out and look great and do your hair and put a nice dress on. But if you're someone that doesn't really do it, don't put a lot of makeup on if it's not who you are, because then you'll constantly feel uncomfortable, you know, you won't be acting naturally, you'll be pretending. And I think looking good still, you know, make sure maybe your hair is washed, be presentable as if you're going to meet someone. So it's the same as if you're going out to go and meet a friend or someone that you are related to, or maybe a business partner that you're meeting. You could do the same thing. Get dressed, make sure your teeth clean, nice clean clothes. Look good, look presentable.
Yeah, what I do is before I come into the studio, I dress up. You know, I get myself ready as if I'm going out to go and see somebody. From my nails to my hair to, you know, the fragrance that I'm wearing today to what I'm going to be putting on. As you can see, the color of lipstick, you know, and this is probably one of the things that I always get nervous about is something stuck to my teeth, you know, like is the color going to get on there?
Lipstick or
yeah. So that's so important, is just to be natural and feel comfortable and be you.
That's definitely very important, because if you try and pretend too much, what will come across is your nervousness of not being in your own character. And it's kind of, people want to identify with you. They want to see like you're a real person that they can connect with and that they feel comfortable with. So that's important. You have to feel good in your own skin, and you've got to feel good with what you're wearing and what you've put on your face or how you've dressed yourself. It's very important.
Wow, okay. So tip number 4, Nadia.
Tip number 4 is making sure that your voice is clear. So when you're presenting anything, when we get nervous, we tend to speak a lot faster, and we talk like I normally do at the beginning of conversations. But just make sure that your voice is clear, that you're audible, but it also connects with your equipment. Make sure that beforehand, like for instance, when we started this chat, I needed to set up the stuff. Make sure you know what needs to be done. If you need to download plugins to get your program to work with Google+, then you need to make sure that you've done it in advance. Because sometimes you're not sure how to work with the technology, so make sure that the day before you're actually getting interviewed to check, do you have the right link, maybe have a little trial session, make sure that you've got all the right plugins, make sure you've got a Google account. So that's fairly easy to set up. And then also make sure that when you are speaking about stuff, that you're clear, that you're in a room, that there's nice sound, that you're not, you know, being drowned out by having open windows and traffic running everywhere. Make sure that everything's nice and quiet and clear, because it's quite important that the audience actually hears what you're saying.
So, Nadia, what I find is sometimes before you have to go and interview someone or before you have to go and speak, and you know, you get quite tense around the jaw area. Do you have like a little trick that we can use just to go a little, or you know, something that we can just loosen up the tongue?
You can loosen up the tongue. I mean, you can do all your tongue twisters, unique New York, particular explosive sounds and soft sounds. My main thing, if you're gonna, for instance, if you're doing an interview first thing in the morning, our voices aren't warmed up. So if you need to warm up your voice, the best way of doing it is humming. And the higher you hum, the more strain you put on your voice. So first, when you start humming to warm up your voice, is just do it at your natural tone. Whatever's comfortable, the first note that you hit, just stay on that for a while. And if you're preparing for it, you can walk around the house getting your stuff ready while you're humming before you actually come on for the interview. And then eventually you want to build it up to a higher note. So each time you kind of climb the scales until you have a really comfortable sound that doesn't feel strained. You don't want to strain your voice, you want to warm it. You want to make it feel warm and healthy, because in the morning we tend to all sound a little bit croaky. So it's nice if you can just warm it up gently. Just be very gentle. And of course, you can do ooh, ee, ah, do your vowels, which opens up. And the best thing is to breathe. Before you go on, center yourself, take nice 3 deep breaths, and relax into it.
Okay. So thank you for that. I think everybody's going to be oohing, eeing, and eyeing before they come into the She Africa show.
It's very hilarious to watch.
Yes, it would. I would actually recommend people just filming that, and sending that to us. I think it's quite funny. And talking about, something that's not business, just from a spiritual point of view, that's also a way of just opening up that chakra, and opening up that gateway and that portal for you and your voice to come through.
Yes, that's true, because we're all connected, and when you want your essence, and for me, your essence is everything about yourself, your truth and your honesty, and the thing that you're carrying, and the message that you're conveying and that you're bringing across. And I think one of the big things that I've learned through my life and through acting and through everything really is your breath. The thing that you started from the moment you came into this world, and that is the last thing that you will do when you leave, is what connects you here. And when you use your breath, whenever you feel tense, whether it's for an interview, whether it's because you're going into something important, whatever you're doing in life, whether you're going through a stressful period with relationships, just breathe. Take a moment to focus, shut the whole world out. It doesn't exist. It's just you and your breath, and really enjoy it. It's a beautiful moment that you're sharing with being alive.
Yeah, beautifully said. I think I couldn't have said that more beautiful than you expressed it more beautiful. Now, tip number 5.
So tip number 5 is probably the most important one. Have fun. It's supposed to be fun, right? People don't want to watch serious people sitting talking unless you want to learn about nuclear physics and string theory and boson Higgs. No one wants to sit and not have fun. You want to look at the conversation. You want to think, wow, man, these people are interesting, because they're just human. They're natural. You identify with them. So be friendly, be nice, be warm, and have fun with the conversation, and really get into it. Really have an interest in the other person as well. Connect with them. Look at the screen when you're talking to them. You're connecting. You can either look at the camera or look at the screen. It's really up to you. So sometimes I feel like I need to connect. Like now, I'm looking straight into the camera, and sometimes I'm actually looking at you on the screen, so I can see your reaction. Because from a body language point of view, that's how human beings connect. We actually connect with our eyes, and when you look at someone for a certain amount of time, you actually build up oxytocin, which is brilliant for bonding, and it's quite important, and that's why eye contact is so important. But yeah, to have fun, to enjoy it.
Yeah, so I'm going to make some eye contact with you now, because I really like that.
We're bonding.
Yes, we are bonding, even if it is through the internet. There it is. You see it? You see it?
Okay, I'm bonding.
Yeah. So Nadia, we're going to be talking to you more in the future, and we're going to be, I think, doing some seminars. We've spoken about that.
Yes, that would be great. Maybe even some coaching, some interactive acting tips and training, some questions people want to ask about acting. And definitely, I think when we start production on the feature film, maybe having online auditions, which will be great to see talented people who we might not have access to from all over the country, maybe signing in, uploading their videos, and we audition them and maybe get them through to finally getting through to the final list of people. And that way that we can really open it up to South Africa and maybe even Africa. Who knows?
Yes, definitely Africa. On that note, I know that we've spoken, and I'm just quickly going to, when we're done with this, please don't log off or cancel, because I've got an idea that I'd like to speak to you about. But let me first say goodbye to everyone. Okay. Nadia, thank you so much for sharing your 5 tips with us. We know that you're going to come online and you're going to share some more with us again in the future, and we really hope that women out there listening or watching have got some tips that they'd like to share with us, and they're more than welcome to contact you, and we can do a little channel for you, and they can go over there and watch it.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah, and then to anybody else who's watching, we're looking for women to interview. Issue Africa is about connecting women, entrepreneurs, markets, ideas. If you feel like you don't have a supporting hand, here we are. We are the invitation for you to creep out of your shell and make a difference in this world, make a difference in your life. And we look forward to meeting you. So head on over to www.sheafrica.net and say hello, you beautiful woman you, or just say hello, entrepreneur. That's what we're about. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, and thanks, Petro, for inviting me, and goodbye, everyone.
Bye.